Hey guys, it's Frank. Welcome back to my channel. So last week I did a reaction video about the pros and cons moving to Calgary written by this blog called Cassidy Moving and Storage Company, and before I was finishing editing that video, I recognized at the bottom of that blog, I noticed that this company actually did pros and cons of other different Canadian cities. Like I saw one for Montreal, Ottawa, but the one that really stood out to me was no other than Toronto. And well, a couple things ran into my head. The first part was I thought these guys were pretty smart. Like if I was running a moving and storage company service and I was trying to get more people to come to my company, yeah, I would definitely write a lot more blogs about different Canadian cities, because you know that anyone that reads this, the first thing that they're going to do, or first company that they think of, would probably be them. And then the second thing was that as a person that has lived in Toronto for 8 years, I thought it'd be funny to react to the pros and cons to moving to Calgary, because I had my fair share of assumptions moving into Toronto and when I left it. So I thought for this week's video, what would be a better way to react now to the pros and cons moving to Toronto? And before we dive into the video, give this video a good old smash, and without further ado, let's begin this another blog by Cassidy Moving and Storage Company. So starting off with number one, the economic opportunities. If you're looking for a career in arts, culture, media, or tech, Toronto may be a great move for you. Anything that you're truly passionate about, whether it's the fine arts, you want to go to technology, yeah, the city itself is great because you can really dive into what you're actually passionate about and not just be ceiling constraint by what you know with your small community. But in Toronto, there's an infinite number of things you could do. So the opportunity is also endless as well. This even goes back with applying for work. For those of you who don't know, I was looking for work in Calgary in Alberta, and in my opinion, didn't always have the best economy. And then it was the moment I decided to look outside of Calgary and into Toronto. Wow, guys, I saw so much more opportunities from every different field, from tech, finance, if I wanted to become an actor. I don't know. There's just so much opportunities in Toronto. So I'll give Toronto credit for that. Moving on to number two, it is endless exciting things to do. And let's see what they have here. They have Ripley's Aquarium, Canada's Wonderland, the Hockey Hall of Fame, Casa Loma. The thing about these items is that you only, if you move to Toronto, you go to these places maybe like max 3 times. And then every time after that, you're only going there like if you have like family or friends from outside the city coming to Toronto that you're just like,
hey, I know some cool places.
But overall, for number two, I would say, yeah, there is always things to do in Toronto, because your favorite restaurant that's a small pop-up shop in downtown might not exist for more than even a year or so. So there's always new restaurants, places to visit in Toronto. So yeah, I will give it credit to that. There is an endless number of things to do, just not those particular items. Number three, we have a multicultural diversity. I said it in my video about 5 reasons not to move to Calgary, and one of them being that the city of Calgary itself just isn't as diverse in comparisons to Toronto, for example. So Toronto is by far is the most multicultural city in the world. And I remember a professor telling me that, and I was like, yeah, professor, just pass me for global management studies. Number four, low crime for such a big city. I don't agree with this part. I wouldn't say an amazingly low crime rate, because it wasn't until I moved to Toronto that, like, you know, when you go on like Google News and you're just looking at news articles and you see the most insane, bizarre, crazy stories. It wasn't until that I moved to Toronto that I literally see things that I would see on news outlets, but with my own 2 eyes. Number five, we have easier winters for Canada, at least. If anyone complains about Toronto weather being like,
but Frank, Toronto weather is so cold in comparison to like Los Angeles or even Vancouver.
It's because you never lived in Winnipeg. If you're in downtown Toronto, you rarely see snow. Or if it does snow, it would like melt like within the next few hours or the next day. Number six for a pro to moving to Toronto is an airport in the downtown core. I don't know if this is a pro. I don't think to myself, you know what, guys? I know why I should move to Toronto. It's because there's an airport. There's an airport downtown core. No, okay, it's a win. It's a pro, but it's not a big pro. It's not something to write on a blog. Now let's react to some of the cons, some of the bad things about Toronto. And I think everyone that's watched my video knows my share opinion about Toronto. Housing So number one, housing is expensive. This August, the average cost of a detached home climbed to $1.2 million. Let's see what else they have to say. They said, renting, of course, is less costly, but still incredibly expensive for anyone's standard, except perhaps Vancouver. Expect to spend a minimum $1,200 a month for a one-bedroom apartment or condo. Maybe if they said a $1,200 a month for a two-bedroom where you have a roommate, then yeah, of course, you'll get a nice place. But $1,200 for a one-bedroom? It's tough to find, guys. Or either that, or this is really outdated, because now if you're looking at a one-bedroom apartment in Toronto, you're looking closer to, I say, $1,800 to $2,000 easily. Number two, we have traffic, congestion, and long commute times. See, I like this part. If you're a bicyclist, you'll be happy to know that there are more dedicated bike lanes every single year. And as a person that lives downtown, I suggest, if you're living downtown and you know you're going to stay in your bubble, buy a bike. It is faster to ride your bike around downtown than even taking the streetcar or taking Uber. Number three, it can be hard to make friends. I can see what they mean by this, because if you, like, I was lucky when I moved to Toronto, I went there for university. So a bulk of my friends came from university. But I can see if you're moving now in your mid-20s where you completed school, you're moving there alone, you don't know anyone, I bet you could find you can find your group of friends, just given that Toronto has just such a massive, diverse of interests, that if you find your right interest, I bet you can make a friend group. But also at the same time, people, strangers in general, are pretty, they're pretty standoffish, I would say, for the most part. Not everyone, okay, but yeah, there is that vibe of let's go, let's go, let's go. Number four, we have not the best place for nature lover. If you really want to experience any nature, you're either going to a park where you can still hear cars from like the highway, or you have to go as far as Algonquin. That's like a 3-hour drive that people make, or Muskoka. But yeah, it's not as easy in comparison to like Calgary, where like I look outside right now and I see lots of grass. Number five, for the cons of moving to Toronto, see, first they complained about the winter, now they're saying very hot summers. And then they attached the for Canada part. In many Canadian cities, summers are mild enough that you can often get away without air conditioning. I realized that everyone in the west of Canada, you'll find a lot of places don't have air conditioning, because typically until this year, our temperatures never really fluctuate above 25 degrees. But I don't know, maybe global warming's finally hitting us, guys, and all you non-believers are starting to recognize it. Developers are ruining the waterfront. I don't know, I guess for this part, Toronto's always so like New Yorky type that like it's what they said earlier, you barely will see nature anyhow. So you're not really gonna go there if you're a big nature lover, I would say. And we have like a little summary. Is moving to Toronto the right decision for you? Depending on your age and what you're looking for, Toronto can be thrilling and ordeal. Young people attending one of its world-class universities will undoubtedly love it. Families looking for a big enough for 2 to 3 kids may find things difficult. I am very impressed with Cassidy Moving Storage Company. This blog that they've written about Toronto is bang on the spot. Moving to Toronto, it depends on your age. If you're in your mid-20s and you want to see a lot more of the world, 100% I would recommend Toronto, no doubt. I don't suggest living in Winnipeg, no offense to any of my Winnipeg friends that are watching this video, but I can see the appeal when you're much older, that you are looking for a lot more space into your home, and you want to have space for your kids or dog, that you might find things challenging, but it's still doable. But anyhow, with that said, guys, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching and watching me react to the pros and cons of moving to Toronto. I know this video style is a little bit different, but trying to test something a little bit different for you guys, seeing if you like it or not. Let me know down in the comment section below if it's good or bad, or you want me to go back to the old regular videos. But I guess, what else can I say? I'll see you guys all in my next video. Peace.